Hello, welcome to Wise Link Academy. Today, we are going to be reproducing out the figure you are seeing at the right hand side of the screen. First things first, this is a what there? An isometric projection, right? So, your first task is to do what there? Draw your isometric axis. So, with the help of my t-square, this way, right? I will take it upwards this way. I will draw horizontal line this way. Hence, I will take my t-square this way and draw the inclined line this way. Right. I'll take it this way. Right. Also, I'll take this one this way. Finally, I'll take this upward. I have this upward this way. Right. Alright. Having drawn out your isometric axis, your next task there is to what there? Check your length, breadth, and height. My entire length of that figure is given to be what there? 55. From here to here, 55. So I'll measure out 55 with the help of my meter rule. From here to here is actually 55. Right? 55. I'm done with that. My breadth here is going to be 10 plus 16 plus 10. That's what? 36. So 36 at this section. 36. My entire height of that figure is given to be 5 plus 22 plus 6 plus 11. I'll have 44 to be my answer. 22 plus 5 plus 6 plus 11, 44 as my answer. So measure out 44 at this point, 44. With the help of my t-square, standing on my set square, I will take this point upward, take this point upward, take this point what there? Upward. Also take this way, right? Hence, I will take this way. Finally, I will elongate this part here too. Then close the box. Close this box this way. So I have successfully drawn out the box at which that figure you are seeing is being produced from. Right, my next task is to start observing. If you look at that figure closely, you will see that from here to here is ticking. So I'll taking mine this way as my first task. Taking this part here is ticking. If you observe again, the resistance of 10 and 10 which are ticking. So I'll use my meter rule and measure out 10, 10. From here to here is 10. I'll taking it. Also from here to here is 10. I'll taking it right this way. I have this. Finally, I will take those edge upward with a faint line. Faint line upward. See? At this point here too, faint line upwards. My entire height from here to somewhere here is going to be 22 plus 5, which is obviously 27. So I'm at 27 from this place, 27, 5, 6, 7. I will what there? I'm taking it. This. So I will bring out 5. This is 5. Right, this is my 5, and this is 22. So that 5, I will take that 5 inward with a thick line. This way with a thick line inward. Next task is that I will close this part up. I will close this part here up. As you can see what I am having. Now my next task is that this edge from here to here is actually what the 8. So I measure out 8. So this is my 8 here. I will thicken it because it's thicken. Now I will draw that it downward with the what the faint line. Downward with the faint line this way. Right? So that same 8 I measured here, I'll measure 8 here to give a distance. Right? So measure 8. This is the 8 here. Right? So hence I will thicken from here down to this point. Down here this way. Right? Right? So at this point, observe please, I will take this part here inward with a faint line. Also, I will take it this way, inward a little bit here. Hence, I can now close it up with this. I'll close this part here up with this, right? Also, close this part up finally with this. Hence, take it this way, close it up together, touch it this way. So my next task now is that if you observe closely, right? If you observe closely, the actually from here to here is not actually taken, right? But if you observe at the center somewhere here, there's a curve, right, of radius 6. So how do you do that? I'll take this one here, this man here, inward with a faint line a little bit. Then I'll take this one too here together to close it to this way, which I'm seeing in front, as you're seeing in front of you, right? So since here to here is going to be 36, after 36 is what there? 18. So measure out the center. 36, get the center. 18, that's 1.5678. 1.8 is my 18. This is my center, right? Obviously this center here, this is my center. Take it this way. I'll draw a faint line this way. That same center, transfer it to the other point here. Draw that same straight line you drew this way. Observe please. So what's my next task? Let me draw this upward very well so you can see what I'm doing. So what's my next task? If you observe, I'm having R6. So I'll measure out 6 with my compass. Let's say 6. With that 6, I'll take it here, upward. Can you see? Up. Mark left. Mark left. Mark what there? Mark right. Observe please. Mark right. And finally, mark down this way. The same thing applied to the second one. Right? Let me just bring out the first one I did. By marking out 6, I mark 6 here. Take this down. Take this point here to down. Observe please. Take this down and take this down this way. So observe what I produce out. Note that the second center is at this point, please. At this point. So what do I do here? I will join the longest part together. From here to here is the longest diagonal. So I will join it together with this, right? Joining my longest diagonal, I'll have this way. Hence, I'll take it to I'll use it to write out the V. So join this part here to this part this way, and use this part here to join this part this way. So this is what we call we call it ordinate method. Yes, we call this what I just did there, we call it the ordinate method, right? So hence at this edge here, you know it has 4 edges. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. At this edge here, this one here, I will take it down here and I will gauge it to draw circle this way, right? As you can see, next up at this point here, this one here, I will curve it to form a curve, right? Form a curve, right? This way. As you can see what I'm having. Hence, I will be taking this part together, this part here together, also together with this. Please observe carefully. Next up, my second center is at this point here, please. What I just did for this place, what I did here, I'm going to do it here again, right? So to avoid confusion, right? To avoid confusion, I'm going to clean all this part here. I'll be left with the second line. So let me show you what I'm saying. Alright, this is my second center, right? This point here. What I just did the same thing, I'll measure 666 all through. So I'll measure 6, that will 6 from here to here is 6, right? Because I'm saying out 6 in dimension. So take it here, upward, left, right, and what the downward this way. So what I just did for the first one, the same thing for second one. Draw a faint line this way, draw a faint line this way. Hence, connect together to this, connect together to this. So I have this. Next up, let's join the longest diagonal from here to here. Is actually the longest what there diagonal. Hence, connect this point here to this, and finally connect this one here to this way. Now observe please, at this edge we have 4 edge 1, edge 2, 3 and 4. At this edge 2 here, this one here, I used to draw my curve for these 2 points this way. You see, as simple as that, right? Hence, what do? I will take my t-square this way. I will join this part together and take this part here this way. This part here, observe please, close this part together. Also at this point here, close this part together. So I have this, as you can see. So close part together, right? So I have this. Next up, what is my next task? My next task is that if you observe, there's another figure at this part here. So how do you establish that? The first task is that the thickness, the wideness of that figure there is 16, and the distance from somewhere to somewhere down here is 22 for that figure. So what do? First task is that I'll take my compass, I'll measure 16, right? 1.6, 16, 1.6 from here to here, 16, right? At this point here, observe please, I'll draw an arc this way, right? An arc that way. So with that arc I've drawn, I will take it down this way. Observe please, that arc, I'll take it down this way. Take it down this way. Please observe please. Also, I'll take it this way, inward this way. The entire height of that figure is given to be what there? That should be R6 plus R11 plus 15, which is what there? 32. So I'll measure out 32, 32 with my meter rule. So doing that, I'll be having this 32 from this point here to this point is 32, right? So with that 32, I'll take it this point here inward to this way. But my entire length of that figure is going to be 22, right? I'm going to 22, which is this, right? I'll take it upward this way to touch this. Finally, I'll take it this way, touch this. Hence, take this part here inward this way, and then take it downward this way to form a box. As you can see what I am doing. So what is my next task here? My next task is to obviously get the center of this box. So we said I don't need some line. Let me clean some line. So to avoid confusion, this line here, see, I don't need this, right? So let me ignore it out. Alright, I have cleaned out the wanted lines. So what do I do next? Observe please. Please observe please. We said from here to here is what the 32, get the distance, get the half, that's 16. Here to here is 22, get the half, 11. So get the center of the 2. So doing that, we said 16, right, for this part here. So since here to here, from here to here is going to be 32. From here to here is going to be 32. Get 16. At this point is my 16, as you can see. Also, we said here to here is 32. Get 11, 1.1 at this section, right? So with those points, I'll take them upward this way. Take it upward this way. Observe what I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing. Also, take this part here inward this way, right? And inward this way. I have what you're seeing in front of you. Now, since I've got to my center, right, I will actually take this point here, this one, inward this way, and draw this edge here down this way, right? I've actually formed two square, 1 2 3 4. That's for 1 1 2 3 4. As you can imagine, that's under 1. So what do I do next? Observe please, observe please. This center here is where that okay 15. Okay, at this center here, right, I'm going to draw out a circle. As you can see, that circle telling us ROs R6. So measure out 6 on your compass. 6 on my compass. 6 from here to here is 6. At this point here, take it 1 2 3, then 4 this way. That's my 6. With the help of my set square and my T square tangential to each other, I'll draw this downward. I'll draw this downward. I'll take this way. And I'll take this in this way. We call this what the ordinate method of drawing isometric circle. Right? If you don't know how to draw this very well, I'll drop a link to the description of this video. So that one will help you on how to draw circles in terms of what the isometrics. So now, having done that, my next task is what? Join the longest diagonal. So the long diagonal is actually this, the longest part together. Then what do you do? I will join some parts together, right? I'll join this point here, right, to this. I will join some parts together this way. So joining parts together, I'll join this point here down to this, and then this point here down to this. I have this. Obviously, without stressing myself, or perhaps let me just show you how to do that, right? With my compass, take this point at this point here, take it together with these two this way, take it together, those 2 points together. As you can see, come to this next edge here, join those 2 points here together. I have this. Finally, at this edge here, extend it to close these 2 points here, 2 points together. Also, observe please, at this last edge too, take it to close the other parts together this way. So I have that first inner circle you're seeing. Next up, what do I do next? If you observe closely, right, that circle here, there's a curve up here and also some curve here, right? So what do? The next task is that, please observe, call this A, call this B, call this C, and call here D. So like it's forming a word there, a square, right? Please, to avoid confusion, I did that now. Hence, what do I do now? Join the longest diagonal together. I'll join this part and this part together, right? This way. Observe, please. I haven't done that, right? We need to know the center of that circle, of this point here, right? So we said, okay, it's totally known already. So after drawing this diagonal line, what do you do next? So with the help of my square, proceeding, observe please, this line here was drawn this way. This line was drawn to this point here. This line was drawn this way. Observe please. So I draw this longer diagonal together, right? No stress. Now observe please. Don't get the line confused. To get the center of this stuff, what do? Where this point here, this one, let's take it down. Let's take it down. Let's take that edge down. Let's take this point here down. If I take this part here downwards this way, with a faint line, observe I'm dealing with A, B, C, and D. The center falls at this point, right? That's my center. For that, please look at it very well. So at that center, observe please, at that center, what do? How do you form that circle there? What do? I'm going to use what the ordinate method. What's the first task? Join the what? Longer diagonal. I haven't done that. I will join parts together, right? So if I have this part here, this to this, observe please, this part to this, right? Observe please, and this part here to this way. Call here, call this point here, call it point R, call this point here point R prime. Please observe, I'm leaving those stuff so to avoid confusion, right? So what do I do next? At point R this way, at this section here, right? Point R, I'll draw a curve this way, a curve at this section here. Next up, I'll come to point D. We call A, B, C, and D. At point D, right? I'll come to point D, extend it this way to this section, right? At point D, at this section, and join it together this way, right? I have this. What do I do next? Next task is that if you observe closely, there's a line that goes down this way, a thick line to this point. Also close this part here together with a thick line. This part here, a thick line. This part here, a thick line, and this part here with a thick line. This way, I have this, right? We're almost through. We don't have the figure. Next up, what do? If you observe again, there is a curve, right, at this section, a curve from here, right, a curve. So how do you produce the curve? Here's what I want you to note. To form the curve here, I can just, to reduce my stress, let's just use my French curve, right? So just ensure that this edge here and this edge are touching, right? Just it. So I have this touching. Alright, so I'll take it down this way to that point here. So I have this, as you can see, right? Let me bolding it well so you can see. So if I take in that, I have this, right? Obviously, if I close this part up together, this point and this point together with this way, I have this. Finally, I cannot take my T-square to close this part here together this way, right? I have this. So the figure you're seeing there, I'll take my T-square this way and close this part up together. So I have this. Also, I'll close this part here together, the thick line. So I have this, right? So we have successfully drawn out that figure in isometric production. If you found this class helpful, do not forget to click on the share button and like. Thank you. Welcome to WAEC Academy.